Getting jacked destroys the victim mentality because it forces you to realize that nobody is coming to save you, right? Through every rep, every set, each time you push those weights in the gym, it makes you realize that you have to take control of your life, right? Because victims blame time, money, and they don't have the resources, genetics. They blame everything but themselves. They refuse to take accountability for why they're in the position that they are in, right? The victim mentality is a pandemic these days because it keeps people from actually achieving things in life, right? And once you are able to get jacked, once you're able to hop on Bodygame, you'll understand that you actually have more control over your life than you think. You have a lot more control, right? A lot of people, victims will tend to say, oh, the reason why I'm not jacked is because I don't have time to go to the gym. It's my genetics. Too busy. I don't have the money for a gym membership. I don't, there's always an excuse. It's never their own fault. It's always blaming the world for why they are not where they want to be. It's always the other way around, right? And that's why victims will never get jacked. And that's why getting jacked is so rare. That's why Bodygame is so rare, because most people these days, they don't actually work out. Like if you look, and there's like a thing going around saying there's a physique inflation. If you look outside your supermarket, you go to the malls, stores, and most people are actually not in shape like that. Most people are average. The average man has a dad bod. The average man can't even do 10 pull-ups. The average man sees himself as a victim these days. And that's why he's not jacked, because he's blaming everything else but himself. The average man can't even go to the gym after his 8-hour shift. The average man would wake up in the morning eating Dunkin' Donuts first thing in the morning, doing shit that sets him behind the pack, right? That's your competition these days. Your competition, you're competing with guys who think they're victims. You're competing with guys who choose victimhood over being a victor, who choose to be losers rather than winners, and they blame everything else but themselves. They lack accountability, right? By the way, if you're tired of being a victim, you're tired of being someone who doesn't take accountability, hit that link in the description, and we'll see if it makes sense to work together so that we can help you reach your dream physique. Little shameless plug for those of you guys that need it. Make sure you like and subscribe while you're at it. Just a little shameless plug if you need help on your fitness journey, link in the description. But like I was saying, the average man these days is a victim, right? And when you are a victim, you fail to take accountability for your life, right? And the reason why, and for me personally, getting on Bodygame, getting jacked helped me overcome the victim mentality, because it made me realize that I can actually change my life outside of the gym, right? Because I was able to make that transformation from skinny to jacked. It was a paradigm shift. It made me realize that I don't have to think in this victim mindset way anymore, right? I don't have to think in a way in like this defeatist mindset. I don't have to be the same person I was. I'm always talking about recreating yourself, recreate yourself into a character that commands attention, never bores the audience, right? And going from skinny to jacked, going from out of shape to jacked is the first step to recreating yourself from victim to someone who looks like they actually win in life, right? Because when you get jacked, when you actually make that transformation, it signals competency. It signals that you are competent in doing something. It shows that you are competent in being able to make a certain transformation. It shows that you're able to accomplish something. And, I think men need that sense of accomplishment. They need to feel like they can accomplish things, right? It's like that one saying, it's like you give a man a purpose, he will crawl over broken glass to achieve it, right? Men need purpose. And when you're given purpose, right? When you find purpose in the gym, you find accomplishment in there, it trickles into other areas of your life. For example, when I started getting jacked, getting on Bodygame, it made me realize I can transform this into other areas, right? I used to have a victim mentality when it came to school. I would say I'm not good at math, right? That's a victim mentality because I would blame teachers. I would blame the schoolwork, but I didn't blame myself. I didn't realize that I wasn't actually studying enough, right? So when I got on Bodygame, it made me realize I transferred that, what I learned, the lessons I learned in the gym, to my academics, and was like, you know what? If I actually study, if I do the reps and sets of the homework, I can increase my math ability, right? See, like the victim mentality and Bodygame, it doesn't mix together. They're two opposites. Right? Because most people who actually get in shape, you'll find that a lot of these people don't actually have victim mentalities. It's very rare that you see a guy who's in shape have a victim mentality. It's very rare. It can happen, but it's very, very rare, because most times getting in shape actually forces you out of that victimhood, because getting in shape is symbolic of like having autonomy over your own life. If you can have autonomy over your own body and transform, you can do that with other areas of your life, right? So it's very rare for people who are in shape who to have a victim mentality, right? And that's why you need to hop on Bodygame, because Bodygame will help you reframe your brain. It will help you change your mind into a growth mindset way of thinking, right? Because when you're growing your body, your mind is automatically going to think in that growth oriented way, because you're growing something. You're on a journey, you're completing something, right? But that's all I really have to say for today. You book that one-on-one consultation if you need help getting on Bodygame. If you need help getting in shape, book that call. We'll have a little conversation. We'll see if it makes sense to work together. And then for the next 6 months, if you are selected and you are a great fit, we'll work on your nutrition, your mindset, your training, all the things that will help you elevate to the next level so that you can get on Bodygame, get the cheese skills that you want, get the physique that you want, the respect that you want, recreating yourself. And if that sounds like you, if you really want to like change your life and actually recreate yourself and build the physique that commands attention, never bores the audience, hit that link in the description. We'll have that little conversation and we'll see if you're a great fit, right? But like I was saying, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and remember, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. I'm going to catch y'all next video. See ya.